What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the R.E.U.P podcast where we talk about things in the past, what's happening in the present, what can and may occur in the future. It's your host, Coach Jack, man. I'm so happy to still be sitting here with you guys. But today, I want to touch on something that has become a little bit prevalent in my coaching career and my coaching journey over the last couple of years, and something that I've noticed, and it's tough to shake. But I want to talk about the cool guy. All right, what is the cool guy? The cool guy is, let's break it down. You got the too cool for school guy, too cool to work hard guy, the too cool to be a part of the team and communicate and get on the same page with your coaches and your teammates, right? You have all of those and above, man. you know Here's the thing. There are certain instances where guys just make it look easy, right? And it's just they're cool as the other side of the pillow. um that's called having really, really good composure, right? That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is the guy who's just obnoxiously, like, just absolutely too just relaxed and too, like, just I'm gonna go with the flow and it is what it is, and guy who just doesn't put forth the effort when you know they have more. All right. So first and foremost, let's talk about the too cool for school guy, right? Because at the end of the day, one, I'm a college football coach. I coach football in college. I coach football in college, so that means that I deal with a lot of student athletes. And it's impossible to be a student athlete if you are too cool for school, right? So you have to make sure, number one, you go to class. The whole mantra or the whole identity of I didn't come here to play no school, that's a joke, right? Yeah, everybody laugh and joke when they say it. But in actuality, you did come here to play school. Matter of fact, you came here to get an education first. Yes, everybody has dreams and aspirations of making it to the next level. And that's all fine and dandy, but until you make it to the next level, you actually got to go to class, put in the work, and do your homework, right? Do your schoolwork. Do the things that are going to get you to the next level in school so that you could be able to participate on the field, right? Like that's the key to being a student athlete, is to make sure you maintain some type of a balance. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, those that do well, right? Those that are on top of their game, that are doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom, those are the kids that me as a coach, like, man, I'm so happy to have those guys in my room. I'm so happy to have those guys on the team, right? Because nine times out of 10, I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to necessarily babysit those guys and make sure they're doing X, Y, and Z, right? Because they already took care of ABC on the front end, and I know they're going to take care of the rest because they're being accountable, responsible, dependable, all that good stuff. Those that I have to walk to class, those that I have to babysit to make sure that they're taking care of their business every single day, right? When in our actuality, if I'm helping you with that, that means that I'm taking time away from helping you be a better football player, better man, better individual for society. Like I get it. We all have those issues where procrastination is is kind of what you've been, uh brought up. Not necessarily raised, but you've had a procrastination gene uh that lingers. And quite frankly, the more you procrastinate, the worse it's going to be for you in the future. So I don't mind, as a football coach. It is my job to make sure I put you in a position to succeed. And if that means walking you to class, that means making sure you take care of your business. You're turning in all your homework assignments, and we're doing X, Y, and Z. That's fine. I can do that. I actually don't have an issue with doing that because it allows me to keep my thumb on you a little bit to make sure that you're taking care of your business. But I would prefer not to have to do that, right? As a college football coach, I would prefer to make sure that we're talking about other things in life, that will help you grow as an individual and football, right? So I understand there are things that happen. There are issues that need to be taken care of. Some people might have issues that are unrelated to school that may affect it. That's a whole different story. Yeah, we can work around that. But the whole idea of I'm too cool to do this, and it'll get done. I'll figure it out later. I'm better under pressure. No, you're better at procrastinating. You're not better under pressure because if you were better under pressure, as soon as you got the assignment, as soon as you got it done, the pressure should be to get it done and not wait to the last minute. The pressure should be how good is this assignment going to be, or how great am I going to be at accomplishing the goal that the teacher sets out for me, and not, yeah, I'm all, hey, I'm going to get this done at the last second and it's going to be great. Because there are some people who can do that, but it ain't the majority out there. The majority out there, they struggle when they turn in late work. And every now and then you get lucky, but your luck's going to run out one day. And so I want you guys to make sure you understand that you have to be prepared for these type of things, and you can't be too cool for school. You can't be too cool to go to class. You can't be too cool to turn in your homework because all that stuff matters. It matters. It's the little things that can translate from being over there in school to out here on the field. As much as you might not think it does relate and it does translate, it does, because one is it's about being dependable. If I can't depend on you to take care of your business in the classroom, how am I going to depend on you to learn a playbook? How am I going to depend on you to do your assignment on the field when you can't do your assignment in the classroom? So that correlates, right? That's very parallel. So you got to make sure you're paying attention to that type of stuff, that type of attention to detail about the small things, and make sure you're not being too cool for school. Now, only on if you keep going, the too cool for hard work, all right, guys, it's football. Sports in general doesn't necessarily even have to be football. It can be every single sport. Here's the thing: it's going to require work. It's going to require work. It's going to require you sacrifice. It's going to require you putting forth effort, right? And if you are too cool to put forth effort, then everything that you're doing is going to be a reflection on the field. So if you don't put in the work right now up front, guess what? When it comes time for your playing time, when it comes time for anything, and you can be as talented as you want to be, and you're going on the field, you're going to play because you're talented, but it's going to show up because you're going to come up against somebody who is outworking, who is you putting in the sweat equity, the blood, the sweat, the tears, everything. That you're going to come against somebody like that, and if you're not putting in or matching the same type of intensity that they are, that it's not going to matter for you because they're going to beat you every single time. So you have to make sure that you're putting forth the effort, and you got to want to do it. You have to want to put forth the effort. Like hard work just doesn't come, right? This is something that you create yourself. You create the work ethic that you have. You're not born with it. So you actually have to get it in your mind is that you can't be too cool to run hard on your last sprint. You can't even wait till your last sprint. You got to start from 1 through 16 or one, however many you got. You got to give everything you got because you're ultimately going to push your body and going to push your mind to places that you never thought you could go to. But if you don't tap into that, if you don't lock in to the things that you have to do, you will never understand what your body is capable of. You will never understand what your mind is capable of if you don't push yourself. If you're trying to be too cool to go to work, you gotta go to work. That's what it's about. You gotta go to work, and everybody, it comes to a point in time in everybody's life career when they're hitting that pavement and they're grinding and you just get tired. All right, you get mentally drained, mentally exhausted. Everybody goes through that. The things that separate the great from the good and the good from the average and so on and so forth, the thing that separates them is their willingness to work for the extra. Are you willing to work? Are you willing to sacrifice? You have to put in the work. Can't be too cool for it. Can't be too cool for it. And the other thing, you putting in the work, you putting in the effort. Schools are going all good. Hard work is there. You can see it, but I like there are some people who are introverts, and that's okay. That is that for a certain extent. Um, there are some times where I'm an introvert. There are some times where I'm an extrovert, right? Call it ambivert, whatever the case may be. But to act like you are bigger than the team, you are pulling yourself apart from the team, to separate from the team, and to be too cool to be a part of the operation, especially in college, that you chose to be a part of, right? You chose to be a part of this. You chose to understand that this is a team game and that you can't do it by yourself. So you can't be too cool to be a part of the team, right? If there are team activities going on, and team bonding, or things that your coaches might want you to do as a team after practice, or whatever the case may be, you can't separate yourself from the team because you're pulling yourself away from the bond. You're pulling yourself away from the product. You're pulling yourself away from the process of becoming a complete team. And in order to win championships, because that's why we play sports, right? Like, yeah, there are other things that come with it, but at the end of the day, everybody talks about winning a conference championship. Everybody talks about winning a national championship. Everybody talks about being in the big game. And in order to be in the big game, you have to be a complete team. Never seen a team that was full of individuals that all of a sudden decided, we're just going to go out there with our natural talent and ability, play for just yourself, right? And go out there and win a championship. It just doesn't work that way, right? So if you're pulling yourself away from the fabric of a team, then ultimately you're causing a split and a division that doesn't need to exist. It doesn't need to happen. Like, I get it. You don't always feel up to par. You don't always feel like you're just feeling it that day, like you're off that day, right? That's when you do have those certain teammates to help you and to bring you up, bring your spirits up, right? You can be that person for somebody else when they're not feeling it. But that's a team. That is a team. That is the thing that defines the fabric of a team, is to be there for one another. And if you're pulling yourself away from it, if you're too cool and you want to hang back in the back, and you know and you just don't want to put forth the effort to be a part of it, then you're taking away the opportunity and the chances of that team to be complete and to go win a championship. You might not like to hear that, but don't be the guy that everybody says, what if such and such, or what if, only if he could, only if she could, only if. Don't be that guy. The other guy you don't want to be is just one of the boys. Now, hear me out. Understand this. Good to great. The thing that separates is hard work. We've already established that. It's the mindset. Now, what you don't want to do is, when I say just being one of the boys, I mean, you're always in the back of the pack. You're bringing everybody else down. Those that do want to work because they're your friends or they're your boys, they want to kind of hang back with you, right? You want to be the guy that's pushing everybody forward. You want to be the guy that's saying, "All right, that's not enough. We gotta turn it up. We gotta pick it up a little bit, right?" To just sit back and be too cool to, that you're becoming a detriment to your teammates, then that's not gonna work out well for you or the people that you're bringing down, right? Because ultimately you're not gonna get what you want, and that's one, playing time, two, championships, and three, that relationship that you gotta have with your coaches. The relationship that you have with your coaches and your teammates will deteriorate if you don't take care of your business the way that you're supposed to when it comes to, you know, bringing everybody up to a level and not necessarily bringing people down. You have to make sure that you're not the cool guy that, tears down a room. You can't be the guy who tears down a room. You have to be the guy that elevates the room, right? Because ultimately, that's what us coaches we like to see. We like to see guys who elevate the room. We like to see guys who bring a certain level of knowledge and intensity and IQ and certain level of really caring, right? We like to see guys that care. And if you're a guy who doesn't care, then it's not gonna end up well for you, right? The guy that cares, the guy that puts forth the hard work and in and outside of the classroom, the guy that cares enough about his teammates, the guy that cares, you know, that to make sure that the message that the coach is sending is also getting relayed through him to his teammates, the guy that cares to be a leader, the guy that cares is going to be the one that us as coaches we're going to depend on. They're going to be the leaders out there. They're going to be the guy who takes it to another level and ultimately to win a championship. The cool guy gets left behind. The cool guy doesn't get the thing that he wants, and the cool guy 10, 15 years, 20 years from now will be full of regret. And that's not a way that you want to live. So you have to make sure that you work all that cool guyness out. If you're a high school athlete and you're a cool guy right now, look yourself in the mirror. If you're a high school athlete and you're a cool guy, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this am I getting to the goal that I truly want to be at? Am I going to accomplish what I set out to accomplish? Or is being the cool guy enough for you right now? Is it going to be enough for you later down the line in the future? Right? If you're in college and you're the cool guy, you are wasting your time. If you're in college and you're the cool guy, you are wasting your time. One, get your education. Two, work hard, make the team better. Three, work hard, make yourself better, and execute the things that you came to execute as being a college athlete. Let's get this done. Well, that's another episode of the R.E.U.P podcast. Appreciate you guys for joining. Remember, champions never let nothing faze them. When in doubt, rise to the occasion. R.E.U.P.